No feedback. Oh, there's feedback. How about now? There's a little feedback. Is that better? Check. Check. Good sound here. Bueller. Bueller. How about that, guys?
Yep, we got sound there.
All right. There we go. Much better.
We will blame it on the effing star.
Yeah, there we go. We only had several difficulties tonight.
Welcome, everyone.
Welcome.
Do this again.
Again, yes. Yay!
We
All
do,
right,
we
we're
do
back.
this every once in a while, so everyone's
Yes.
got sound now, right?
We do
let's
have
see
sounds
what's going
now.
on here.
Woohoo!
Almost there. It's good now. It's good now. Perfect.
All right. Perfect.
This is our very first time doing this, and we don't know what we're doing.
Second, yeah, maybe their second time.
So it's been a long day, long night, but so yeah,
Tonight.
got everything working. Yeah, tonight we were going on and on about what's going on tonight. It was really cool sounding to us.
It was, yeah.
We could hear it in our headphones.
And tonight we're going to be speaking with Todd.
He's looking at me to say the last name. I think Soltero, if I say that correct.
Yeah, if I want to say it correctly myself.
I hope so. I hope so.
Soltero.
Yeah, Todd is latest Team 5-star driver that we got added on. Todd's a longtime drag racer. He's got a lot of
King of the Streets too.
He was at King of the Streets this last weekend. Everybody
20K.
knows what that is. Let's see here. Scott says we have a little bit of an echo.
A little bit of an echo.
Well, let's try that. There we go.
Yeah.
If it's
a little better?
echoing, that's because we want it to be in both ears. Sounds good.
In one ear out the other.
Yeah. So, all right. So next time we're coming here at like noon to get stuff set up,
Yeah, definitely.
because then we'll be ready by 8.
I just take work off.
That too.
Then we have plenty of time.
So yeah, King of the Streets was this last weekend. In
Yes,
Vegas.
it was.
Vegas, what would you say? That's the no prep race, and they had
No prep.
I can't remember how many entrants, but the winner
255
Is that what it
is
was?
what
Something
I
like
think
that?
I remember reading was 255 entries. Many pictures. That was a lot of cars.
yeah, there was a lot of them. There's
I
a lot of
mean,
people there from all
holy
over
cow.
the country.
Hawaii. There was people from Hawaii.
There's people from Hawaii there. No way.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. And
So-
now they're saying next year that they're probably expecting about 1,000 entries.
1,000 entries.
1,000.
At that point, is it a 2-day event?
They're talking from what I'm understanding is like it's probably going to be like a week. You know, like a 3-4 day deal.
3-4 day.
Yeah, because I mean that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That is a lot of cars.
So
And-
you wait about 12 hours to make a 2-second pass.
Pretty much, yeah. And you know, if you win,
I
then you
guess-
get to move on. If
yeah.
not, you're out.
Yeah.
You got to figure, 50% is going to be eliminated right away.
Right away. Yeah, so you just
I
cut your
mean,
next round in half. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you're already cut it down to 500, and you go from there.
Yeah.
So I mean,
So we had 3 days, is what he's saying for next year. 206 for this year is what they had.
206. Okay.
206. So yeah, I guess. Let's see. Yep, 206. Say hi
Can
to
you
Fast
imagine
Man
the
from
payout on 1,000 entries?
Yeah, that'd be.
Dude, you wouldn't even have to work.
How do you even make that ladder?
I don't
You have to
know.
make a ladder.
Dude,
Usually you
that-
can fit 32 on one sheet.
Feel sorry for that guy. That's a,
So,
that's a lot.
but no, King of the Streets was last weekend. Locally, what's happening locally? We had I know we got done with our 1RC series.
Yep.
Not the way we wanted to. We had
a little snowstorm.
Snowstorm. And
as a matter of fact, our last show, it was what? -28 out, right?
Yeah. Now it's
today
60s,
65 degrees.
65 degrees. So we had shorts on today. Yeah. For us in Nebraska.
And there's no more snow.
No snow. Yeah. Just 3 snow blowers.
Yeah. And you got to worry about floods now.
Yeah.
So maybe you can like sell pumps.
We sell fuel pumps, not water pumps. Yeah. But well, you need fuel to run a pump. So
there you go.
So yeah, finished the 1RC series. I know we had at Hobbyplex last weekend was another dirt oval race for the 10 scale series there.
Yes.
The Plex series.
Craig took a triple.
Craig, what do you win? 410 sprint, 360 sprint, and late model.
Yep.
Yeah.
He took all 3.
Yeah, that was nice of everyone to let him win.
Just look out for the orange car.
Yeah. So
he did really well.
No, 3 wins. I mean, that's incredible. You know, if you can just stay steady enough to win one race, you know. That's
I'm usually happy if I win one, or
second,
top
third.
5.
I'll take anything. Yeah. So
I'm good.
Captain Keg is kind of used to that first place thing, you know. Yeah. So second place good for us. He doesn't like it.
He's good. He's good at what he does.
That's for sure, definitely. So, so Craig's texting us everything that he wants to know secrets on Todd's car. No, I'm just kidding.
So he can put them in his phone.
Yeah, they're in my phone tonight, Craig.
Yeah, there you go.
So, anyways, but yeah, we got what else we got going on? We're going to be making our drag race schedule here locally. We've got no prep season and prep.
Yep.
We've got that coming up. So, you know, one weekend will be a prep race, and the next weekend will be no prep.
So that kind of gives us a little more racing this year than last.
Yep.
And kind of changes it up a bit.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
there's
you almost have to build 2 cars instead of 1.
2 cars or change them.
So, So that way you have one for prep and no prep.
Yep.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
I
think everybody should buy 2 cars from us. Or 3 or 4.
Speaking of, the new release was Losi's drag car.
Yes, that was the body on that is amazing.
That was huge. That was pretty much a release right before King of the Streets. 69 Camaro.
They've got a really good marketing program.
Gotta say
right before King of the Streets.
They nailed it on that one.
So no, it's really sharp looking. It's a nice looking car.
It is.
We already have them on order. They're expecting us to have them in May, so to me that means June.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we'll definitely we're getting them in here, guys. I think there's 2 different body styles.
Yep, you got they're both Camaros, but one is Summit Racing and the other one is just a blue, just a plain blue Camaro body.
Yeah, and they both look good. They both look great.
I mean,
and the Mickey Thompson tires.
Nice. New wheel design for all those who are looking for different wheels. Of course, everybody is.
Everyone.
And then they come with lights.
Lights.
They have headlights and taillights already installed.
So that's your spec points for.
Yeah, that would be your spec points. Yeah. So that'd be pretty cool. I mean, it gives you some of that realism, and I think we're going to start seeing more of that on the drag racing side of it. It's going to start becoming. I mean, you're going to have all about speed, but I think it's going to get into the finesse details as far as like how scale looking it is, because there's a lot of manufacturers that are coming out with some pretty sweet bodies too.
And with our 13.5 class, the more scale points you have, you can get that first round buy.
There you go, winner.
So I'm not even sure what the headlights and taillights are worth, but if you buy one, then you already got
exactly. You've already got the scale points for the headlights and taillights, and you just add a couple little things. I mean, make it look more real.
Now, as soon as they get in stock, you can buy them at our store, obviously,
of course,
or on our new online store that we just launched this week.
The new website,
5starhobbies.com. We just released a new store. Of course, a website is always in the works.
Yes.
It's never completed. We're doing some different organizing on it now. We got, I'm going to say 70 to 80% of the store in there. Maybe not quite that much.
Stopping in today, I was watching Kyle working frantically because guess what? There's more stuff to add.
Yeah, they got like 3 or 4 boxes full of stuff there, and yeah, there's if you think of every little part in a hobby store or whatever, and having to put that in, that's what we're going through. And we started this project a long time ago.
You'd be like, okay, so yeah, I mean that includes anything from pinion gears to hinge pins to screws. I mean, and nuts, bolts.
What's nice about this one is our old one was very, let's say, antiquated, but that one, the search function just didn't look for stuff. So this one, the search function works well. We're starting to put some categories in by starting. I mean, I think we put 3 in there just to get them in there and test it, make sure it's how we like it. So you can search by the brand, you can search by the category, you can search everything, all items.
Nice, nice. So I have checked it out, and so far I think it's pretty sweet. And then you've also got all the links to all the Facebook pages on there and the front page, which is cool as well. So I mean, you can always go to 5 Star Hobbies on Facebook, but of course, you want to go shopping, go to 5starhobbies.com.
And we have a YouTube channel.
And yes,
YouTube channel.
And that's the other thing that's going on. Speaking of which, 5 Star Hobbies YouTube channel has hit over 100.
Nope, wrong one. Which one is it? There you go. There. So over 100. So what are we doing? 100. We're giving away a hoodie.
Yes, we are.
Giving away a hoodie.
Giving away hoodies.
We're going to do that after we talk with Todd tonight.
Yep, exactly. So, we're going to speak with him, and I think it should be a great conversation, and I think we'll get a lot of information from him.
Yep, definitely.
Well, I mean, he might not give all of his information away.
Or he'll give us some. Give us some info, Todd. We'll be fine with whatever you tell us.
No, I'm just interested to hear more about. I mean,
what was it like to be at King of the States?
Yeah, exactly. On hands. I mean, that's something that we're there's a small group of us that's seriously considering about going next year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I mean, we need to. I think it would definitely be. I mean, every vendor is there. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So
it's in the works.
I got to meet up with RC Bombshells.
in a dark alley?
No. Okay. No. No. I just I'd like to see some of his work in person myself, but.
No. But no, going back to, I think what I was talking about, I don't remember if we had sound or not, but that falcon that you painted.
Yes.
That falcon is absolutely incredible. Yes. You guys got to go check it out. Not right now. Don't leave our Facebook page or anything.
You got to keep watching us.
But you got to check out the falcon.
It's also on the Facebook drag, RC drag slash drag racing page. I think it's pretty much
absolutely incredible.
It's been on there the last day or two, so I mean it should be towards the top. It's like darn near 500 likes so far. So
that's it's 500. You know what that has in common? As soon as we hit 500 subscribers on our YouTube channel,
they get a painted body from Bob's Body Shop right here,
and he won't even charge you.
Nope. Not
How
this
about
time.
that?
Charge him.
Yeah, there you go. One way or another. We'll take care of it. So, but yeah, that falcon is absolutely incredible. When Bob sent it to me, I said, "Hey, first of all,
what you doing with that?
That's the best rust I've ever seen." And then, what was it you said? I got first right of refusal. I claimed that already because Marv here says, "Thanks again, Bob, for selling the falcon to me." Well, I've got a clear one we can sell to you, Marv. So.
I've got several. Yep, I've got several in the shop too as well. If anybody's looking for one, it's definitely doable.
Yep. So, what should we do? We should probably get Todd on the phone.
Yeah,
don't you think?
I think we probably should.
There's a chance it's going to work.
Tonight.
Tonight could be anything here. So we're going to get him on the phone here. We got him unmuted, so we're ready to give him a holler. Let's see what happens. We can hear it ringing. I hope you guys at home can.
So.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Todd?
Todd, how are you?
I'm fantastic.
It's almost like we've talked to you once before.
Quite possible.
Yeah, we actually did try and test tonight, guys, and we called Todd and tested it, made sure it worked. We just didn't test anything else.
That was the one thing that worked.
Yeah. So
that's the important part.
Yep.
Yes.
So Todd, the main question is, did we pronounce your last name right?
Soltero, absolutely.
Soltero. All
Okay.
right, perfect.
So, but before we go far, Jared, I just need to say I really appreciate the opportunity to continue my relationship with Rudis Motorsports. That relationship means a lot to me.
Absolutely.
It's something that I've had. That's my first sponsorship. You know,
So
I talked to Roy Anderson a lot, and then he sold it to when he sold it to Tony. A good friend of mine and Tony's, Jim Showers, the Rain Man. He got me hooked up with Tony, and Tony just believed in me and gave me the chance. So to continue that with you guys in 5-Star is it's super important to me.
Well,
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. We're glad to have you on. We're looking to continue what you had with Rudis before, and we're excited. And us, we're putting people on this team that we want on there. We aren't just throwing anyone on there, and we want to learn some stuff from you. We have some feedback with you on design, and that's the kind of people we're going to team up with. We're looking forward to it. Also, it's going to be a great relationship.
Yeah, no, I'm excited, and for you guys, I'm an open book. Whatever you need, what any of the team guys need, even any of your customers that are having issues with their builds or their cars or setups, anybody, basically everybody knows. I'm an open book. PM me, and I may not get back to you right away, but I'll definitely get back to you. And I really, as I'm not a pro driver, I don't consider myself a professional. I play with toys. As a sponsored driver,
Yeah.
I feel that I have some responsibilities, and those responsibilities are to continue what was given to me by legends like, Mike Smith, Jim Showers, Tom Acosta, like all the old school guys that most people have never heard. They took the time, they helped me. And that's when we were running micro switches and sub-C cells, and
Wow.
they took their time.
The high-tech stuff.
Tim Smith took his time. So it's kind of like it's my way of giving back to those who gave to me.
Pay it forward.
You got to. Those guys invested a lot of time to help me learn this stuff. So it's important to me to invest that time to help others. I may not have every answer, but I know someone that does.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's absolutely great. Now, what we ask, though, a big favor of you is don't tell Craig everything, because he's already good enough, and we need a chance to beat him. So just hold back a little bit from him, all right?
So what I'll do is my car will go in the mail, and you guys just put your body on it.
There you go.
I hope Craig's not on here.
Yeah.
Nope, that's great. So yeah, you were just at King of the Streets last weekend. I know it's a broad question, but how was that?
Yeah.
So, yeah, let me tell you about King of the Streets. Coy Roberts, Tyler Zapadil, his wife Ashley Zapadil. You have Jake DeBrosian, who's on here, who's one of the guys who helped with it. They did a fantastic job. A lot of us were like, "Oh man, how are you going to get it done?" And we were just thinking out of mathematically, how are you going to do this?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I've known Coy for a long time. I've raced with Tyler for years and years and years. His wife is awesome. They all did a fantastic job. Coy is a madman when it comes to making sure everybody was in the bracket and the timing and this and that. And the people who were doing tech, there was no BS. It was black and white.
And that's the thing is like watching that on was it One Up RC?
Yeah.
I mean, they had a live feed. I mean, they were on time. Everything was on time. I mean,
absolutely.
They made sure the show kept moving forward, which was just incredible.
That's a feat in itself.
Yes.
And yeah, and like I said, we raced with Coy out here, and Coy's just a madman when it comes to making sure the brackets are done and everything's working, and he runs a really good program, and it showed, with having Tyler and his wife and their crew that they had put together, like Sean Russ and Jake that's online right now. Mm-hmm. They did a really good job. Like their team worked really well together, and that's really the formula it took to accomplish this task. And that's exactly what it was. It was a huge task. I don't even know if it was any fun, because it was pretty stressful on their end.
Yeah,
I can only imagine.
Yeah, hosting any kind of race is stressful, whether you have 10 people or whatever. But yeah,
it truly is.
So most of them guys that were putting this on, then did any of them race, or did some of them, or?
Yeah, so Sean raced, Jake raced, and they did a killer job. But when it came to, just the program, Tyler did not race. His wife doesn't race. She was just a mad woman pointing and shooting, getting stuff done. And Coy,
gotcha.
Man, bless Coy's heart. That dude never races.
Huh.
He literally sets up a track every other Sunday for us to come race.
Wow.
Just because he enjoys and he's invested in what he's built with AZRC.
That's pretty cool.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah.
To have people dedicated like that.
I feel so fortunate because when you come to, I came from California and I moved to Arizona, and I didn't have just one track. I had 3 tracks. I didn't just have one guy that was fast. I wasn't always after Tim Smith. Like in California, I'm trying to beat Tim all the time because he's fast.
Yeah.
I came here and, man, I had a shelf full of hammers. It's not one. The hammers start at ball ping and go all the way up to sledge. And these guys, it's crazy. You come out here and it took me a while to catch up to these guys. And I mean, some of these guys are ridiculous fast, and it's probably names you never heard. Like James Galton. This guy's super fast. Ray Presnell. I mean, everybody knows Mark Bang.
Mm-hmm.
Like the bullet chassis guy. Mark is ridiculously fast. I love racing him because he's so fast. He pushes me to be fast. You got Frank Greer, Taylor, Dave Logsdon, my good buddy Dave that I test with all the time. This dude's ridiculously consistent and fast. Like it's sometimes frustrating because I'm trying to shuffle down the road and this guy's like A to B, A to B, A to B, and he's like, "What's your problem?" I'm like, and, I mean,
try to suck
less.
Out
here, yeah, that's pretty much it. You come out here and you really realize like their RC scene out here is huge. Like this weekend we have the Desert Classic going on for off-road.
I've seen some of that. Yeah, I've been kind of following that.
This is a big RC community, and there's times we'll go out and drag race, and you'll look over and you'll be like, "Oh, I'm lining up with Ryan Mayfield."
Oh wow!
You're like, okay.
Wow.
Hey, there's some big names out here, and they come out and check it out, and every once in a while they'll throw a car down, and it's kind of cool. Like I'm going to be honest, this is probably one of the best groups I've ever got to run with. I love my California people. I'll never tell you I don't, but competitively, wow. Out here, these guys have pushed me to a whole nother level.
So what does everybody mostly run out there, as far as car wise?
Fast.
Well, I mean, not like time wise, but like what types?
So Mark Vine has his bullet chassis. There's tarps. There's it's either a B6 or a low C, or they're running everything. It's crazy. You just come out here and there's everything.
So you got anything from street eliminator to a pro mod. I mean,
yeah, we run 17.5 cars. Sometimes we'll throw a bracket down, and people will break out their 17.5 cars and run like a 17.5, and even those are fast. On 17.5s we're doing like sub 2.
Really?
Like, yeah.
All right. Sounds like we need to go to Arizona.
That's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, no, like
for more than one
year.
Definitely.
Yeah, we're gonna race in a few weeks here, April, and it's like $1,000 or $1,500 bracket race.
Holy
like,
cow.
We've got kids out here. We don't have kids. We got kids and grown men that are
in it, straight
assassins when it comes to bracket racing. Like, we call him Chewy, but Balin. This kid Balin I hate bracket racing Balin. It is horrible. That kid will murder a tree. Like, he might as well, we call him Chewy, but we might as well call him Paul Bunyan, because I swear every time I race him, he chops a tree on me. We've got another guy, Paul Cantone. These guys, they are so addicted to bracket racing, it makes it difficult to bracket race with them.
So can they run any vehicle in bracket racing, or is it SE only, or?
Anything you want.
That's great. Wow. That's awesome.
Hey.
It opens it up to everyone. They can bring their basher from home if they wanted to.
Anything. We've had guys come straight from Desert or Hobby Action or Action Hobbies, where the track is. bring their off-road car after they run and then bracket race it the
awesome.
same day.
That's awesome.
That's out at our races. Some of the best racing we've seen out there is the bracket racing.
Yes.
It's always fun to watch. It's always, most people that are new to drag racing really don't understand it, and they don't understand why you're getting, why is he getting a head start, and once they see it, it is just so much fun.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the sweet science of drag racing.
It is.
That is the fundamentals. If you cannot figure out bracket racing, forget about
racing.
Going fast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, forget about going fast because, the fundamental is A to B, right?
Yep.
Cut a tree. Make a car work. That's all the basics that you're going to learn in bracket racing. I don't care if you're going 5 seconds or, as fast as I've gone is like 120 with a top fuel car. There's no difference. You just have to put in the effort. You have to take the time, and you have to learn the craft of RC drag racing because it is kind of a craft. Everyone thinks, you just throw a bunch of power and go.
Yes. Yeah.
I've been working on it since 1990.
That I believe we touched on that on our last episode is because as far as the Missouri Valley track, we've got, this is several years now that we've been doing it down there, and things have changed so much from the first one. Everybody was trying to throw everything that they could at the track to begin with, and it didn't work.
No. They finally people start figuring out just A to B,
Yep.
And that's like bracket racing. You tell people you're not racing the person in the other lane. You're just racing yourself.
Yep.
So
exactly.
Yep.
And your biggest competitor is you.
Yep.
Oh yes, always. And that's what's going to make the biggest difference.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you'll see, you'll start bracket racing, and you'll start going, let's try it a little quicker and a little quicker and a little quicker. Next thing you know, you're like, let's go run a pro mod at 129 at 102 and 132 feet. And next thing you know, you've got the sweetest, rudest motorsports driveline pro mod available, and you're throwing big psycho power in it. And, you're on the phone with JR Lane or Steve trying to figure out what motor you want. And it becomes nuts.
I think you got to say that rabbit hole. Is that what we call it?
That's a huge rabbit hole.
No, we don't deal in rabbit holes. We deal in black holes.
There you go.
That's more like it.
We don't swallow small things. It swallows whole universes. Trust me.
There you go. I can imagine.
Yeah.
That's good. We'll have to remember that one. Yep. So the king of the streets then for you. So how many rounds did you go, or how many, I guess give us kind of rundown of your day.
So we got there really early. Me and my buddy Dave, he is my teammate and just he's a good friend of mine, and he is rock solid when it comes to this race. We got there, his wife showed up, and I have to say a huge thank you to his wife, because this is the last thing she probably ever wanted to do. She's a neurosurgeon.
Oh, geez.
So we got a neurosurgeon to sit with us and watch us nerd to a whole nother level that she's probably never seen. So
that's
awesome. Dave's wife, I appreciate you. But yeah, we got there early. We were there like 6:30, 6:45. We got set up and took care of all the registration. We finally got to make our pass. We got one test pass. Pick a lane. That was it. So I did a lot of watching. I was watching cars go down, shake and bake, and, not have a lot of traction. So I went back, went through my head and figured, okay, I'm going to put this tune in. I should be able to get down, and I should be able to get down fairly quickly. I got my chance to run. My car ran really well. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to leave it. So after my test practice, I never touched the car after that. Dave went down. It was perfect. So once we got back to the pits, we got set up, made it to the first round, and I had a bye.
Oh, nice.
Beat that.
So I used it as a testing tune to make sure the tune that I was running was good. It looked sweet, so I just sent it. And that's where I left the car, and then I just started going rounds. I ended up in the top 8. I finished in the top 8. The hardest part was I had some really ridiculously fast guys in my bracket, and unfortunately, I had some of the AZ guys, which I really didn't want to run. One of them being one of the fastest guys in AZ, or one of the guys known for being the fastest, and that's Mark. I didn't want to race Mark. it was a good race. I beat Mark. It's not what I really wanted to, but
yeah,
I wanted to see more of AZ go farther into the rounds and
it kind of
have a
stinks
larger
when you
showing.
have like your own team. You're basically racing your own team and knocking out guys in your own group.
Well, I see it like this. I can race Mark anytime I want. I don't want to race Mark at the biggest race in there. I mean, like,
exactly.
We do this every weekend. We do this every weekend. I don't want to race you. Not that I don't like you or I don't think you're fast or I don't respect you. I race you all the time, dude. I don't want to race you.
Yeah, exactly.
So we got, and then I ended up racing. I made a couple more rounds after that, and I ended up racing another buddy of mine, Jordan Yancey, out of California, who's also probably one of the fastest guys in California. He's won tons of cash days. We lined it up. It was cold. It was like 40-something degrees, like 28 mile an hour wind, but we lined them up. Wow. Tree dropped, and we sent it. I lost that race by .00002. So I'm not very good at math, but that's some stupid math because when we crossed the finish line, it took a minute for the tree to even register it. We stood there and looked at each other, and then it finally dropped on his side, and I was like,
It was who won that one?
Yeah,
it was that close.
So you know what? I'm not sad. I told John Schultz when we talked, I didn't pay to go win a race. Mm-hmm. That's not what it's about for me. It's never about paying to win a race. When I travel anywhere to the Texas RCDL Super Nationals or anywhere else I go, it's not about paying to win a race. It's about paying for the experience. I paid to be at something that was historic. I paid to be part of that. And some people go on vacation. I go race toy cars every year.
Well, and that's a great way to look at it too. Some people, we take it serious. We put a lot of time and money into this, but if you think about it that way, you're never going to lose.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do take a lot of time and I spend a lot of money on it. I put hundreds and hundreds of hours into it. I put my heart and soul into it. Was I bummed that I lost? I was bummed, but then I thought about it for like 2 minutes and I was like, well, I did better than like 200 other people. So
exactly.
I did pretty good. And to me, that's validation that all the hard work and time and effort of testing with my buddy Dave and testing with the AZ guys, the AZ Grudge guys and my 480 guys, the 480H guys, James and all them, and all the testing that I got to do paid off.
So you said that it was cold out and wind. What about, you said the track, obviously the track was cold. I mean, how did that affect your guys' setup? I mean, you're in Arizona and then, obviously have warmer weather there than what you were at. Was there quite a bit of change for you to make or?
No, I'm very fortunate because the road we ran on is very similar to Coy's road, who throws the event, right?
Okay.
So it was a lot like Coy's road. It was the same width that Coy runs. It was the same tree that Coy runs. So I felt real comfortable. We do a lot of late night testing. Okay. We're running, it's 40 to 50 degrees sometimes when we test here. The only change I made was my prep. I usually run reaction time for my buddy Tony, but I have my buddy James Gallant out here who makes Purple Drank. And I was like, I know the Purple Drank works when it's cold, so I'm just going to use the whole race, the Purple Drank. And that Purple Drank never let me down. You lay it on you stack it in layers. Once you have it stacked like 3 or 4 layers, just leave it on the warmers. As soon as you put it down to a slow burnout, it chirps like crazy. And I know as soon as I hear those chirps, I have traction.
Yep.
So I didn't have to change anything.
Yeah, the chirp that everyone talks about, huh?
Yes.
So basically, what kind of vehicle did you run in the King of Streets?
I ran a tarp chassis with a B62.
Okay.
Basically, my car. So here's the funny part: is my car is built exactly as you would in the kit.
Okay.
I'm running plastic gears. It's basically a kit. The only reason I even have a carbon fiber chassis is at the time I built the car, there was no short course chassis available. There was one on eBay, and the dude was trying to charge me $175 for it.
Oh, jeez.
I was like, well, for $25 more, I could get this carbon fiber chassis.
Heck
so
yeah.
I was like, I'm just gonna buy that, and I have nothing special on my car. I mean, I have some disco kit. I have the J Concept aluminum shock cap.
Okay.
You know, I and the aluminum shock collar, the preload collars. That's it. But everything else is built as the kit.
The next biggest question that definitely Craig Moline wants to know: what tires were you running?
I am running Reactions
The
with
Hoosiers?
no foam.
No foam.
No, the Pro Line Reactions
Okay.
with no foam.
Gotcha.
So no foams, is that seem to be the majority consensus out there? That's kind of what we hear, I guess.
Yeah. I tested them with foams, and without foams, I get way more traction.
Really?
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
they kind of wrinkle a little bit, and you got to understand here. Some of these guys get so much traction, you can hear them squealing down the street.
Oh, that's crazy. So I mean, basically, there's no prep at all done to the track.
None.
None.
No prep
so
at all.
So basically, your prep is what you end up doing to your tires.
That's it.
Okay.
Just like big cars, like Big Chief would do, or Sean, or Murder Nova, all those guys. They've got their pimp juice. You know, I get a lot of grief about this, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, well, in Street Outlaws, they use pimp juice.
Oh, yeah.
And then at the end of the day, I've also come to realize using traction compounds saves me a bunch of money. Like, I'm not a rich man. Got family, kids, all that stuff built. So by using traction compounds, instead of getting 10 or 12 passes, maybe 20 passes out of a set of tires, the tires that I ran at King of the Street, no joke, probably had 60 passes on them.
Really?
Wow.
Because I prep them on reaction.
Wow.
Because you prep them, and your burnout's way shorter because I'm using prep and tire warmers, right?
Okay.
So they're already hot. I do that short little burnout, so I'm not blowing through rubber, and I make a pass. So now I have a set of tires that cost me $35 or $45 with wheels or rims, and they last months.
Wow, that's pretty interesting.
So now,
I mean, that's my argument. I can't afford it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, because I mean, and the whole thing is like King of the Streets. The rules. Did you have to do a burnout? Like.
Yes.
Okay.
So you had to either do a burnout before the carpet or on the carpet. But if you did any kind of throttle movement after the carpet while you were setting your car down, you were DQ'd because it was considered a burnout.
Wow. That's what I was going to ask you about. Is I heard a lot of people saying there was quite a few people DQ'd then, wasn't there?
I think so. I think first round. Here's what's sad. First round. 17 people DQ'd for over voltage.
Oh.
So then, going into the later round, had another guy try to, this is from what I heard, is a guy had these crazy cat packs, and he had his cat pack charged, so they put it on a battery charger and charged it to 8.9 volts, and thought that he thought that he could get away with, because they were only testing the battery. Well, they tested the cat pack too, and he was DQ'd.
Oh, geez.
So, I mean, so when they came up there with their batteries too much, they didn't give them a chance to do a burnout, longer burnout or anything. It's just you're done.
You're done. Everybody knew.
I mean, you're talking about 20 grand. I mean,
you got to keep the show moving, and that's
you got to keep the show moving, and you can't. I mean, you can't
follow the rules.
Follow the rules. I mean,
follow the rules, guys.
Oh yeah, for sure. If you're not going to follow the rules, then you were already pre-warned. I don't have any.
Exactly.
I don't feel bad for you.
Yeah.
So did you start? Did they bring you through tech to begin with, or each round did they tech you also?
Each round, and you had to leave your car on the table.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So now, how does that? I mean, like from the tech to getting on to the track. I mean, like you were mentioning tire warmers and so on and so forth. How did that affect the tires?
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
Wow.
Me and my buddy Dave were smart enough. We went and bought a brand new plastic cart and put our inverter generator on the cart and screwed a power strip to it. So I was able to have tire warmers, prep, tools, everything all the way to the start line.
Nice.
That's great.
Okay.
Did anyone else think of that?
As soon as we rolled that out, everyone's like, that's a good idea. Yep. Now you got a bunch of guys with carts.
Exactly.
Yeah, you probably could have made a lot of money just charging them for electricity there.
Or selling
probably.
cards.
You know, because I wasn't comfortable rolling around with a 3-cell lipo in my pocket while I had tire warmers on my car.
Yeah, I don't blame you there.
Definitely.
Yeah, that might get a little hot or fiery.
So what time did it actually they start putting cars on the track in the morning, and when did they finish?
Well, we got cars on the track. I think it was right around 10 something, 11, and we finished right around 10:30.
It's not too bad.
Not too bad.
I mean,
it
was a lot of entries.
Bad. Yeah.
It was a long day though. It was long. It was cold. It was windy. Like if you were a hockey team, you would have done good.
Or live in Nebraska.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, this is nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I was bundled. I looked like the kid from Toy Story. Or not Toy Story, Christmas Story.
There you go.
Yeah, the Christmas
Ralphie.
Story.
Yep.
Ralphie. I look like Ralphie running around with all my layers.
So did the wind affect the cars going down the track?
Some of them had tailwinds, so you would get a little bit of push. It'd make you a little sloppy at the top end or under braking. A lot of issues in braking. You know, guys have some serious fast cars and didn't know how to stop them. Unfortunately, you know. I'm like I said, I've had a lot of experiences to pull from, so I've driven on short tracks, so I can get down the track and stop. Just because I've had the experience, so I knew how to do it. Gotcha. It was new to some people, and they were ping ponging their cars off walls and boards, and safety nets and people.
That was the other thing too. Is I was going to ask about that because I did watch a couple of the cars go down the track, and of course you have they had the boards set up, but now like I've seen one or two that would just kind of slide along the edge and just follow the edge to the end. Does that count?
Yeah. So,
I mean, because technically that's not really driving the car. Right. I mean, that's like using the wall as a ride.
Yeah, the wall. That's a good one. I don't like that rule. They allow it. I don't like it. I've always known first or worst. You hit a wall, you're done. Yep. You cross the line, you're done. You red line,
that's not really driving a car. I mean, you just pulled the throttle and let the car just glide. You know, follow the wall.
No,
I mean,
yeah, that's how we changed ours last year. At the end of the season, we had pipes on the outside, and we took those down, and now it's grass. So if you go in the grass, you're done.
You're done.
Yeah, I call riding the wall caveman steering assist.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, it's rudimentary, but
that's where. And well, we found once we took them away, it started
better racing,
and better. You drove better.
Yeah.
You know, you took the initiative to take control of your car because you're like, I don't want to go over there. You know, and so you pay more attention.
You had guys under control.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to.
That helps them understand the A to B thing, you know. So before all this, when saw some posts that you had on Facebook, I mean, you're getting the low 1.9s. Did you have some 1.8s in there too when you were practicing?
I had some 193s. That was the fastest I could get.
Okay. So what?
You know.
Was because of the cold track in Vegas then was there a whole lot of difference in your ET?
No, not really. It was I just turned it down because there was a lot of money on the line.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
A to B.
I'm just being honest. Yeah, like I've done this long enough. Like I already knew I had a hammer. Okay, so I don't need to pull out a sledge, just a ball peen. That's all I needed.
Yeah.
That's all I needed. I needed just enough to get me to A to B, and I needed to do it quickly. And you know, like my car's set up with a Macklin. I'm a Team Macklin driver, so I had the Macklin DRK in there. And I legitimately left at 40%. I left at 40% for 0.3 of a second. I shifted to my second gear for 50% for 0.3 of a second. I went to 60%. After that for 0.2 of a second, and then I went to 75 for 0.15 of a second, and to 100, and then I dropped in my turbo at the fastest slew rate we have. So I dumped all the turbo in. So by the time my car got to 100% and it ramped up, it sounded like a jet taking off. You could hear the difference.
Wow.
I'm glad that we have your picture up on here, because Bob and my face when you're just running through that is we're just amazed. Yeah. So I lost track of the settings you went through, how many, but is that the new 5.0 software they were talking about?
Yeah, and that was the first time I ran it.
No kidding.
That's how easy the Macklin is to tune. I've done this a long time, so I had an idea of what to do. I've seen the 5-speed run because my buddy Dave is also a Team Macklin driver. He had it, and me and him played with it a little bit. So I kind of, before I had it, me and him messed with it, and I used his data to create my data for the race. Okay. And so once I knew how it worked, I said, okay, this is what I need to do to get down this track. It's kind of slippery in some spots, and I couldn't base what others were doing because they don't have the same traction or tire prep I had.
Gotcha. Yep. That makes sense.
So there was maybe about 5 guys that I could base what was going on because they didn't maybe necessarily have the same traction compound, but they had the same philosophy of how we do it. And so I watched them get down, and I said, let's just stick with what I'm doing. The car's fast enough, and, we're not here for speed contests. We're here for a drag race. Let's just go A to B. A to B is going to win rounds today. And that's what I did. 6 rounds isn't too bad. Top 8 works for me. So
man, I hope there's a lot of our guys watching, because this is going to be listening to you tonight is going to be a game changer.
Yep. No, that's great. So with the Macklin, then tuning it, do they have a Bluetooth module, Wi-Fi module, or how do you do that?
Yeah, they have a Bluetooth module. I don't use it. I'm cheap. Like, I'm legitimately cheap. Like, all these guys ran these awesome bodies. I'm like, I could have somebody paint it, but I'm cheap, so I'll just paint it myself. I mean, it was one of those things that was good from far, but far from good.
There you go.
So yeah, I just still use the USB cable into a tablet. I mean, and even on that, I'm so cheap. It still has my 11-year-old daughter's elephant spraying the rainbow on it.
That's great.
I can't even go get a tough cover because I'm that cheap. I'm like, yeah, it works. So I just plug it in. It's really simple to use. Like I said, it gives you 5 speeds. You can adjust your percentage on each speed from 0 to 100. Pretty easy. And you can bring in turbo anywhere from 70 to 100. You can adjust your slew rate. Your slew rate is how fast the turbo timing comes in. Different amounts of slew equate to different amounts of timing per tenth of a second. I think that's how they have it set up. So, wow. You can go anywhere from, say, 1 to 2 degrees of turbo per tenth of a second, all the way to, I think it's like 20-something, 26 degrees of turbo. I just slam it all in at once. Let it have it all. The downside of that is it could create serious voltage sag.
Okay.
If you guys like are running the Macklin and you see, I'm having voltage sag issues, a lot of people think, I could put a capacitor on, and the capacitor is going to handle voltage sag. The capacitor's job at the small microfarads that we use them at really won't fix voltage sag. You would have to be like full farad caps where they're like the size of your LiPo to even see to see a difference in the voltage sag. The way to correct that is pull some of that turbo out, or not pull some of the turbo out, but pull out how fast it comes in. That slew rate, the speed of that slew rate, will slow down some of that voltage sag. Getting a high milliamp battery will help with voltage sag. Okay. And those are the only things that really control it. The capacitors are good for what's called ripple. Okay. ESC ripple, once you get ripple above 15 to 20% is where you run into the danger zone, and it'll actually damage your ESC. So will voltage sag, though. Voltage sag will definitely damage your ESC. Like people say, I only went, one pass and it was 85 degrees.
Is it necessary to, there's like all sorts of, people that sell these major big ass cap packs and stuff.
No.
Is it?
No. I did a whole dissertation on caps and how they do it and how they work and why they create what they do. They create ripple. Ripple's created through what's called pulse width modulation. Basically, our ESCs are like a mini VFD. for, controlling some kind of, industrial motor. You have the poles A, B, and C, and it's sending voltage, it's sending a signal to each pole, and that's how you're it's going A, B, C, A, B, C. Well, it's doing it at an on and off, so it's shutting it on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off. Well, that on and off creates the ripple.
Okay.
That's what that constant on and off is where the capacitor helps keep that ripple low. You want that ripple current to be between 5 and 10% of your ESC voltage, like your battery voltage, and that's it. You want to keep the ripple really low.
Okay.
But that's what the cap does.
But that's mostly why, manufacturers, like the DRK has already got a capacitor with it.
Yeah.
So, there's no point in adding more.
No.
Because, they look cool and they explode when you hook them
yeah,
up
so
backwards.
here's where they come in. Like, I speed run RC boats also.
Yes.
So when you speed run anything, boats, cars, you have high amounts of ripple current because you're running it for a really long time and you're pulling like 7, 10, 12, 14 horsepower.
Okay.
And you're pulling it on a non-censored motor. So that ESC is just screaming the whole time you run it. You're pulling like 300 amps. You can't have anything outside of that come into play, like the ripple current. If that ripple gets too high, you just destroy stuff. So that's why you see like on a lot of like the 8-scale guys or the boat guys, they really push, like they talk about a lot of ripple and stuff like that, and you need a good cap pack and a good cap pack and cap pack this and cap pack that. That's really what it is. That's the problem that it's solving. When it comes to voltage sag, I've tested pretty much every capacitor out there, and there's nothing that you can get over the counter that's going to solve the issues with sag that we have. So most of that issue would to solve will come from a higher milliamp LiPo, lower IRs in your LiPo. So when you get a LiPo that's pushing 1 to 2 IR, for drag racing, it's no good. We need 0.9 and lower. So when that IR is that low, we can get all the voltage out of it. It's like consider the low IR like your thumb over a garden hose.
Mm-hmm.
The tighter you squeeze it, just because there's a lot of pressure coming out and the water's coming out with force, doesn't mean it's flowing efficiently.
Gotcha.
And that's how you consider, like, so you want those IRs low so that energy or current flows out that battery quicker and at a less, stressful rate. It's a lot easier.
Craig is like taking notes like no other. Right?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you with the Macklin. You're talking about all this data, so they have this data logging built in. How simple is that to work on that? I've never used one of them.
As soon as you pull it, it shows you all the data.
Oh,
as soon as you go into data, it shows you your RPMs, the temperatures, the voltage. It shows you everything. Like I can go in there and I can tell you how many seconds my car was at 100%, and my voltage drop through the whole run, how many RPMs I made, my max RPMs, because it'll highlight it in red. It'll highlight my max voltage drop, and it'll highlight my highest temperature.
So, is that something, is this an ESC that would even be good to even run like in a 13.5 class? Well, I guess you can't. You got to run a blinky, I guess, on most.
Because it has a blinky mode.
Oh, yeah. I guess it does, doesn't it?
See, and that's another thing, like, 13.5 blinky mode, you can't run any timing. That's where everybody messes up. Because just know, everybody that's going fast with the 13.5 has like 50 degrees in can timing.
Yeah, okay. Which I know you can mess with the motor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when they say there's no timing, it's kind of like a lie, because there's a lot of timing.
Yeah. So, but you can still use the 5 speeds that you're talking about, though.
You could still use the 5 speeds, so you can tune it and everything.
Wow,
that's pretty cool.
If you want to hold on a sec, I know we have one of those left. I'm going to go hide it so no one else can buy it.
Hey, they're a great ESC. It's crazy. Like the times we're in, there's so much RC drag racing stuff. Macklin's really pushing hard to continue the innovation.
They really are.
it was great to see Macklin out there and all our team drivers. It was huge to see Team Tegan out there. You know, Ty Campbell and Jim Campbell were out there. They were supporting the hobby. I ran Tegan stuff forever. I was actually a Tegan team driver last year. I was very fortunate to be part of their program. They have a great program. They're great people, and they do great things for the hobby. So to get a chance to run their stuff was awesome. And, you know, I moved on, but I got to see him this year, and I talked to Jim himself and talked to Ty, and I thanked them for being part of their team and thanked them for continually making new products. And it's cool. We have so many options now as drag racers that we didn't have, say, 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, so have you heard from anyone that's running that new Tekin software? Are they liking that?
Yeah, we have guys out here that run it, and they're super fast, and they really enjoy it. And you know, it's great. It's just creating a more consistent competitor. Yep. And that's what I want. I want awesome. I want the best competitors. That's why I'm so open with my information, because I don't want to go up to a line and I don't want to win that 20 grand against a duck. If that dude's slower than me, I'll take his car and put my same tune in it, because I want him to be fast. I want that race to be another
you want
race like I had with Jordan. Yeah, like I had with Jordan. Even though I lost, that was one of the best races I've ever had in my whole life.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Period. So, you know, like, that's what I want. Like, I'm okay with losing like that versus losing to a red light.
Man, I gotta admit, like, your enthusiasm has got me pumped up. I mean, like, I'm like ready to go
even
home.
Even at 8:45 at night.
Yeah, I'm like ready to go home and build something at this point.
I live this though. This is, you know how you guys do dirt oval, and you guys get jacked out of your mind when you're gonna go run dirt oval. It's fun. This is all I know of this hobby. I've raced off-road, I've raced on-road, I've raced everything. But I always come back to what I love the most, and that's RC drag racing. You know, it's pure, it's fast, it's technical, it's not easy, and
it's a rush.
I can go faster in 132 feet than most people will ever go with their RC car, period.
That's awesome.
So have you, with this new Macklin ESC, have you got to put in any of your pro cars yet? Have you ran in any of that?
No, I have not yet. I have my pro stock car left, and that's it. Mm-hmm. And I have it sitting on the shelf because I need to re-go. It needs to be updated.
Gotcha.
So once I update it, I'm gonna put in my one cell setup in that, and then I would like to get a driveline. That's my next purchase, is a driveline. I want to put a Macklin 3.5 turn in a driveline and see how fast I can get a driveline to go.
Yep. Well, I think we know where you can get one of those.
I think I know a guy.
Yep. We'll make sure it's on its way.
Yeah, because I think you know, when we run drivelines, as you know, it's 100%, and we're just pulling the throttle. We're setting those psycho motors up, and we're not controlling anything. I think with this Macklin, I can control it enough where I can even make it faster than most guys have ever ran with a pro mod. So I really do, because our biggest issue is the line. We're slamming all that power instantly, right?
Yeah.
And they're making a lot of power, a lot of RPM, and the only thing that's controlling our power is coppers.
Okay.
If I can use if I can use some coppers and control how fast I bring the power in, oh my goodness.
So 2 questions. One, is that in your 1S car, what will you be running in that then?